Sorry guys, I'll just be with you in a sec. As usual guys, obviously chats are open. They should appear on the screen. So feel free to type anything in chat. I'll answer any questions you want. But this is going to be basically talking about everything that happened last year, what's going to be happening with the channel next year, and basically just going through and just shooting the breeze. So yeah, I've never done anything like this before, so feel free to ask me any questions you want. I will try and answer them regardless, unless it's personal, and we'll go from there. And just put this out on Twitter. Are there any hashtags to use for anything like this? The year that was? Anything at all? Boxing Day? What about after Christmas? The day after Christmas, there you go. We'll use that hashtag just for shits and giggles. Boxing Day, there you go, I'll put that one in too, why not? Let's just troll people. Tuesday Thoughts, there we go. That's ironic. Sweet, done. Alright. Okay, so let's talk 2017. Because it was kind of a weird year. So look, at the end of the day, obviously, let's just start with, well, I didn't expect Trump to make it this long. I was sort of expecting him to basically get bumped off, impeached, or some sort of rigged election or something to stop him. So over the past 12 months, I think he's done a pretty good job. I'm actually quite impressed. This is a guy that people will normally turn around and people were saying things like, oh, he has no experience running the country and everything like that. To be honest, I think he's done a pretty good job. You know, the country seems to be doing really, really well. The markets are booming. Unemployment is lowest that it's apparently been in like 20-something years. So yeah, I was actually quite impressed with Trumpster and how he's done and everything he's done. And look, at the end of the day, yeah, I was sort of really impressed actually. I think he's done a really good job. But apart from that, I didn't expect him to make it this long. I was sort of expecting them to get rid of him. I knew the elites, the globalists and whatnot, I knew they were against him. And I knew the mainstream media would do everything that they can to stop him from going through and trying to be successful. Which was basically why this channel was actually made on the day of his actual victory in the polls. The reason for making this channel was because I knew mainstream media was going to be corrupt and lying. I knew they were going to take every shot or everything they could try and bring him down. So obviously at the end of the day, this was basically counted or made to counter that and to sort of give a non-partisan look at what's actually going on in the world. Domestic policies, I think he's done a really good job. I would like to see that wall built. I really would like it. I'd also like to see a catapult on the American side so that if you do have any illegal aliens still, you can put them in the catapult and fire them. Joking about that. Well, half joking. Maybe free helicopter rides. But like I say, yeah, domestically, I think he's done a really good job. Jobs are starting to come back. Your industry over in America is doing really, really well. And I think he's done an amazing job. Internationally, obviously, look, at the end of the day, the Jerusalem thing, I fully support. Fully behind that. I think that's a great news. I don't like the fact that America still seems to be funding or playing with ISIS. You know, there's still reports that I'm getting where American troops are finding ISIS with American weaponry, and there's still reports coming out that Trump's agenda sometimes lines up with theirs, and there's that time where, for example, the ISIS was running back towards the Russians, and they were getting into a firefight with the Russians, so they fell back. The ISIS fell back, and they ran back towards the Yanks, one of their military bases. And the Yanks, instead of just basically getting out a whole bunch of guns and shooting ISIS as they're running towards them, they actually went and bombed the Russians that were chasing ISIS, because, quote, Russia was getting too close to our our base. Yeah, well, so was ISIS, but you didn't attack them. So that sort of stuff, makes me frown, get upset, cringe a little. But apart from that, I think, obviously, look, at the end of the day, the world's a complicated place, and I think he's done a pretty good job so far. But yeah, like I said, never expected him to make it. Next year, I'd like to see him build the wall. I'd like to see that happening. I'd also like to see him sort of go after Hillary, although that actually might be happening now. If you've been tuning into the news lately, you would have heard that they've been going through, and there seems to be some progress on that. So that is obviously something that is very, very interesting. I like that. I like that feeling. I like that idea. But yeah. But I'd like to see her locked up, or at least charged for crimes. I'd like to see a few of them locked up and charged for crimes, actually. The Steele dossier, look, I think that the Russian narrative is pretty much dead. I don't think you'll be hearing much about that over the next 12 to 18 months. Obviously, the 2018 mid-elections, that is going to be crucial. And that will play a very large part. We will need all hands on deck for that. Because they will try and win those elections at any costs. And we're sort of already seen what their game plan is going to be. This Me Too movement, it might have started off with really good intentions, but I can see how it's already been shaped and turned and twisted. And it's already starting to come into the use of, but hey, we can use this to get powerful people, i.e. men, out of power, and we can replace them with women. And, you sort of see that, like, for example, Roy Moore. It's funny. After he lost the election, we didn't hear anything about it. Not a single peep. But running up to that election, wall-to-wall coverage about Roy Moore's previous allegations of sexual misconduct. But then when you look into it, the story sort of got a little bit funny. And I'm not funny meaning like, haha, funny. I'm talking about funny as in, this sort of doesn't line up. Like the girl was supposedly locked in a car with him, but the central locking on the car wasn't available until 10 years later. And then there was the one that said that she had a phone in her room, but then her mum came out and said, well, no, you didn't. You didn't actually have a phone in your room. It's like, well, yeah, it's just, things just didn't seem to start making sense. But subsequently, he still lost the election. So I would like to see a sort of a jury or an investigation into those allegations. If he is guilty, lock him up. If he's not guilty, and this whole story, cover story, whatever, was a Democratic plan to win the election, then I think we should go after the Democrats for that. I really do. I think that's a lot of crap. What else? Apart from that, we saw mainstream media doubling down, and then doubling down some more. Quite literally. Like, for example, the koi park, or koi fish. That was one of the things that sprung to mind. Trump apparently, when he went over to Japan, the Japan Prime Minister threw the fish feeder into the fish pond, and then they would turn around and they zoomed right in on Trump. And after the Prime Minister of Japan did it, Trump did it, and then they just showed Trump doing it, and they're like, look, Trump's irresponsible, he's going to kill the fish, to the point where they even had people come onto their actual programs to talk about Trump overfeeding and how he can kill the fish. Well, no offense, but over in Australia they have carp in their dams, which are a pest. If we can overfeed carp to kill them, trust me, we would have done it already. Okay? These things are a pain in the ass in the dams, the rivers, and they are just basically obliterating everything. So if we could overfeed them and kill them, we would. Trust me, they would be gone by now. Instead, these things are still frigging around. But yeah, obviously it wasn't just the koi pond. Like, it was even like, for example, his inauguration. They would upload photos from reportedly from 2 hours before, and then claim that no one was attending, while they're also stopping people at the gates from getting in. They wouldn't, even when he was on his campaign trail, they wouldn't actually zoom out on his actual audience. They would just show him. They didn't want you to know how many people were turning up to the rallies. I think Trump doing these rallies every few months is a good way for him to keep in touch with his base. I really like that sort of for the people approach. And I think it does his base a lot of good too. I also like the fact that he's still got Twitter. And I like the fact that he can use it to call bullshit on things, and which is what he does. We all joke, commander and shitlord. But at the end of the day, he's got a tough gig. He's got all the mainstream media seems to be against him. So, at the end of the day, he does need his own outlet, which I am fully supporting. As you know, me, free speech, I love it. So, yeah, there's that. Censorship in 2018, that got pretty bad. That was pretty fucked up, to be honest. Facebook, Twitter, all of social media basically went against us, except for Gab, obviously. Thank God we actually had Gab, because that was a huge thing. And that's only going to get bigger and bigger every year. If you don't follow me on Gab, go check that out. It's in the description. But yeah, social media really did climb down on the censorship. Twitter and Facebook both admitted to censoring anti-Hillary posts in a congressional hearing, so that was kind of big news. Mainstream media didn't really cover that. I don't know why. But yeah, it wasn't just censorship online either. Censorship in the real world got really interesting, as in, oh my god, this is scary. For example, over in Germany, there were people that were, quote, far right. They were arrested. In England, obviously, we had or Scotland or Ireland, we still had Count Dankula and his trial still going on. Obviously, still is to this day. And then obviously in England, we also had people being arrested or charged or brought in for questioning for offensive tweets. It was the year where the police actually spent more time monitoring what seems like monitoring offensive tweets than terrorist attacks, which they probably should have spent more time looking into. Just saying. But yeah, obviously, like Met Police posting every time there's a terrorist attack, we'll be watching for your offensive tweets. Yeah, how about you watch for the Muslim attacks or the suicide bombers? That might be worthwhile, more interesting. But yeah, obviously ISIS, suicide bombers. I'm not sure of the total count yet. I haven't sort of looked into it, but probably well over 2,000 people, 3,000 people this year have died from Muslim suicide bombing and attacks. But don't worry, it's diversity, which is sort of leading back to Trump, because I think that's why the censorship and everything's happening. They really are scared. The New World Order, the globalists, I think they're scared. I think they really are scared of this populist movement. And I've got news for them. It hasn't even... We've just begun. You think this populist movement's going anywhere? You got nothing coming. There's still countries that still to this day haven't reached their full potential. Like Trump, for example. yeah, look, obviously the alternative media over in the US is amazing. But you go to countries like, for example, England, or even like Australia, for example, or New Zealand, or whatever it may be, those sort of countries where the populist movement, it's there. It's a grassroots movement. It's starting, but it's nowhere near as good or as big as what Trump is in the US. So, yeah, I know Australia really does need to. We have got a Trump-like candidate, Pauline Hanson, but at the end of the day, one thing about Pauline, she needs to increase her social media presence. She needs to go through and have a look at that, get that on board. But yeah, what else? But yeah, the anti-globalist movement is certainly in full swing. Obviously, you know, we had Brexit a couple of years ago, or 16 months ago. That sort of still hasn't been resolved. Funny that. Obviously, we had the Paris elections. Le Pen just losing out to Macron, or whatever it may have been. That was kind of disappointing, but I think considering who she was up against, their globalist little boy, I think she did really, really well. Like, you literally had Macron literally taking a knee for Merkel. Like, wow. Like, can anyone say cluck? And, you know, he worked for their banks, and we knew he was one of them. We knew he was a globalist, but yeah, we just couldn't seem to get her across the line. Hungary won its first, or got its first, quote, oh, right, parliament, which basically means anything right of progressive. So there was that. That was good news for Hungary. Poland, holy dooly, Poland, guys. Anyone from Poland, you guys have got you've got a set on you. Like, literally, Poland, Hungary, Czech Republic, you guys have got some brass balls to stand up to the EU. You really do. I salute the Poles, dude, especially the Poles. Like, Hungary and that, I don't know if they finally had to take refugees at the end or whatnot, but Poland, holy shit, the move, the turning around and asking for reparations for World War II when they were demanding the Poles take more refugees. That was amazing. It was really amazing, and love the Poles for doing that. That was just insane. But yeah. What else was there? We saw a lot of people being branded Nazis, alt-right sympathisers. Charlottesville happened. Obviously, that was a bit of a downer. That kind of sucked a little. What else? There was a lot of fake hate crime. A lot of fake hate crime, actually, to be honest. There was a lot, and there was a lot of initial Nazi crimes reported, and then later turned out to be, you know, African American students and whatnot posting it or doing it to sort of get the sympathy. I think we'll still, in 2018, I think we'll still have the whole "you're a racist, you're a Nazi, you're a sexist." I don't think we'll see as much of it. I think they've sort of realised that it doesn't work. So I think that will die off. I do think we will start to see the weaponised movement of the Me Too movement. In fact, I believe we've already seen it, and I think we're already starting to see that even die off a little bit. I think people are realising that the Me Too movement has sort of been hijacked. And I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to make another run at Trump using it. So I would obviously be keeping that. I'll keep an eye out for that to happen. Just for the person that joined, chat's open. If you have any questions, feel free to have a shoot. But yeah, I would see that weaponized movement of the Me Too. I really do think you'll start to see that go through, and they'll try and use that against Trump. And they'll try and take out other male leaders in the industries using it, and I do. Oh, Matt Damon, my boy, you. Oh, he copped it, didn't he? Yeah, I'll get to the left eating itself in a sec, but oh, Matt Damon, you really did piss him off, didn't you? I'll be very surprised if Matt Damon's ever invited to another party for another 10 or 15 years. Coming out saying that, there's a difference between spanking someone and raping someone. Who would have thought? God, that would be so controversial. Hey, poor Matt Damon, my boy. Never really liked you much before this, but I'll tell you what, I have a little bit more sympathy for you now, man. And then coming out, and what did he say after that? It was something else he said after the whole... Oh, he was saying about not all men. And, yeah, that was a good week. Him going through talking about that. What else did we have? Censorship, we've talked that. Yeah. I think we'll see a lot more people get censored on Twitter. A lot more people being censored on YouTube. The YouTube censorship is incredibly painful. For a small channel like myself, it is insane the amount of censorship that we have. So basically, I've been doing this for a bit of a test for the past week or so. And what I've basically found out is that for the first 100 views, the censorship is real. Really real. Like insane real. And basically after the first 100, that's when the algorithm turns around and says, hey, this is actually a little bit popular. We can push this a little bit. And they'll start pushing it. And once that happens, you can sort of break through the censorship. But up to that 100 mark, and small channels like myself, we really do cop it. We really do. But yeah, I would, yeah. And I do want to also take this opportunity right now to thank everybody, not just from me, but for every YouTube out there. For every YouTuber or for every person who's shared a YouTube video. Thank you so much. The viewers of YouTube channels, and I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass, I actually believe this. The YouTube viewers, you guys make these channels. Without you, we would not exist. Okay? Without you sharing, liking, viewing the videos, and not just mine, for every other YouTuber out there, we would be just some dumbass guys sitting in our rooms making videos and not doing anything with it. They wouldn't be having the impacts that alternative media is having now. If you guys really do want to look for the heroes of 2017, it is you. It is all the viewers, everybody that tunes in, that watches this, or that watches any YouTuber, that talks about any of the news, that talks to real people in the real world. Anything that helps share the message. Like they say in Firefly, you can't stop the signal, Mal. And that is extremely something that the globalists at the moment are learning the hard way. You can't stop alternative media. You can censor us, you can go through, you can silence us on Twitter, on YouTube, you can any of this. But we will always find some way of getting the message out there. And I think they're learning that the hard way. So, suck eggs, basically. But yeah, and this was just, yeah, this year I really want to dedicate 2017 to the viewers. And like I said, not just mine. Everybody that tunes in to Phil DeFranco, Andy Wolski, anybody. You guys really do make these channels. So, 2018, what are we expecting? Okay, so I'd like to see Trump build the wall. I really do think he needs to get that done. Also, I would like a catapult on the American side of the wall, so that if you have any illegal immigrants, you can sort of put them in the catapult and fire it, and yeah, that way you can sort of Return to sender. I'm just joking about that. Well, half joking. Although I did jokingly turn around to one of my friends at work and we designed an obstacle course. Basically involved trip mines, lasers, barbed wire, crocodiles, alligators, all those sort of things. It was a real life survival course. And the deal was that if you made 300 meters of this obstacle course and made it to the other end, you were considered for residency. Now, like I said, it was a bit of a joke that we were doing at work, but there might be some merit in that. Just don't go ruling that out. But yeah, 2018, I'd like to see him build the wall. I'd like to see Hillary Clinton locked up. I'd really like to see that happening. What else? I like the American economy to keep going. He has done an amazing job when it comes to that. I really didn't expect Trump to do as good a job as he did. So yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that keep going as it is. 2018 mid-elections, that is going to be big. And that's where we're going to need all hands on deck. Because at the end of the day, they are going to try and steal those elections. Whether it be through illegal vote rigging, like what we saw down in Alabama. You know, they had literally had everybody going around enrolling to vote for the Democrats who were in prison. They had people coming in from buses from different towns, reportedly, to win the election. They tried everything. So there's no shock they won that one. What else? What's new for us? Okay. Well, you're looking at one of them for now. We're going to try and do some live streams. Might be doing it on a Sunday night, Monday morning, depending on the time zone. So that will be starting up hopefully soon. I also will be doing a Discord server where you guys can actually jump into the Discord and ask questions. And it'll be like an open mic night. Open mic night. So you basically come in, talk the shit, ask me any questions, or bring up a topic and we'll have a chat about it. So yeah, it'll be basically an open mic night on every Sunday night. And basically you guys will be able to talk whatever you want to talk about. And it will be pretty much look, within reason. Obviously, if you jump on here and you start saying every swear word under the sun, then obviously we might have problems. But at the end of the day, as for topics, hell, if you want to ask the Jewish question, I'll answer it. So it really will be for you guys. You guys will be able to ask whatever you want. What else? Obviously, we'll be going through. I want to also start hosting live debates. So that'll be interesting. You'll be able to go through and basically I'll be picking people off Twitter, whatnot, to debate. Anybody that has sort of a different opinion than me. And I'll be sort of bringing them on here and yeah, just we'll be having a debate. Chat will be open, so you'll be able to chat. Streamlabs is opening now, so that is running on here as well, so you can, quote, donate. Also, your super chats and whatnot will appear on the screen when we hit the 1,000 sub mark. And also any sort of new people that subscribe or anything like that, apparently that all works, reportedly. Also, chat is on the right hand side of the screen, I believe, so, or left hand side, I'm not quite sure. So that'll also appear. So if you want to say something, I'll test that now actually. Nope. Oh, there we go. See, there it goes, right down the bottom. So yeah, so that works. What else? What else are we planning on doing? Obviously, we'll still be covering the news and everything like that. Obviously, trying to grow the channel bigger than we already are. Obviously, that's you guys. Obviously, it's all I can do is make the content. You guys are the ones that share it. So yeah, a lot of that's in your court. What else? But yeah, no, apart from that, that's the big stuff. Running the Discord server with an open mic night, and also hosting debates. So yeah, that'll be something that'll be coming in 2018. Plus, we'll still obviously be going through doing things like what we're doing now. Still be doing the shows, the videos, and everything we upload. And basically, yeah, answering any questions or anything like that. I might do something for 500 subs, like a open question night or something like that. No guarantee I'll answer them, but you know, I'll answer questions, most of them, except anything personal. What else? Basically about it, really, guys. It's basically what I wanted to wrap it up. So no one's really asking questions, and there's no one's really watching at the moment. So you guys obviously be able to watch this on demand. But yeah, obviously, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to hit us up in the comment section. I generally like to think I'm okay with the comments. I do want to try and focus more on them in 2018 as well. So I'll sort of get through to those more, but I like to think I do okay. And if there is any sort of content that you do want me to cover, any stories or anything like that you find interesting, you can post it on the Facebook discussion group. It's a Facebook group itself. I will put a link to that in the description. That's new. Or also you'll be able to use the Discord server as well if you want to use that. I might actually, yeah, I don't want to say that because that's something that might be, yeah, there might be something with the Discord that we might be able to do that'll sort of bolster its popularity a little bit. I've got a mate that runs a Discord, but I want to talk to him and see if he's okay with me doing something with his, or if he wants me to start my own. I don't know. Like I said, haven't even approached him yet, so we'll see what happens. Apart from that, guys, look, if you have any questions, any queries, please feel free to hit me up in the comment section below. If this video has been interesting, please give it a thumbs up. Apart from that, guys, obviously I want to wish everybody a happy and great new year. I will be talking to you between now and then. Do not worry, I'm putting up about 2 videos tonight alone, plus this one. But guys, yeah, look, Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you've had amazing holidays. Just before I do go, one last time, thank you to everybody who not only has watched my videos over the past year, but watched anybody from Alternative Media's views or videos. Without you guys, we would not be here, and we would not have the impact that we do. It's you guys, whether you're on the left, the right, the center, wherever you may be. You guys are the ones that are the real force of the internet, and you all should go out, take yourselves out for a drink and have a drink and be really proud of everything that you guys have done over the past 12 months. We literally have our shitlord and commander-in-chief because of the power of the alternative media, and that is all because of you guys. So big shout out to everybody. Like I said, not just me, but anybody you've watched. I don't care if you're left, right, whatever. You guys are the real unsung heroes of 2017. Apart from that, guys, enjoy yourselves, have a great night, and I'll see you in our next demonetized video. Have a great day and enjoy.